a traffic violation shouldn't result to a death sentence. Lionel Nelson here, and welcome to A Father's Note, promoting fathers through building men. Hello everyone, Lionel Nelson here, host of A Father's Note, where we promote fathers through building men. We wanted to come on here and talk about the incident that took place between Patrick Lyoya and the police officer who is employed or was employed by the Grand Rapids Police Department. First of all, I want to say that I give my condolences out to all the families that are involved. Any loss of life is a very sad situation, and it's unfortunate, especially when a loss of life takes place in the way in which that Mr. Patrick Lyoya lost his life. Nevertheless, though, we need to talk about choices that we make. And the choices that we make can have either pro effect on our life or a con effect. We have to, whenever we're making decisions, we always have to take in consideration what are the pros and cons of that decision. And that is what we want to talk about and discuss in this particular video. Again, it's very sad. It's unfortunate that this young man lost his life, and especially when he is the father of two children. But let's talk about the decisions that not only that he made, but decisions that the police officer made in this incident. And what I would like to do now, first of all, I want to play this video. And as I play this video, either I give my commentary doing it, or I would just wait to the end and say whatever I have to say concerning this matter.
Hey, stay in the car! Stay in the car!
Nelson and Griggs.
Dude, I'm stopping you. Do you have a license? Do you have a license?
For what?
I'm stopping you. Do you have a license?
What that do?
Do you have a driver's license? Do you speak English?
Yes.
Can I see your license?
What that do wrong?
The plate doesn't belong on this car. Do you have a license or no? Do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
Where is it at?
It's in the car.
Get it for me.
What that do wrong?
The plate does not belong on this car.
Oh no. Grab my wife right there. Right there.
No. Stop. Put your hands right. Stop.
Now, I couldn't talk while this video was playing, but I just wanted to play through in its entirety before I give my commentary on it. I talked about making the right decisions. Now, my understanding, according to my conversation with 911 operators, is that there are three things in which that they instruct the citizens to do anytime they are having an interaction with police officers. Number one, they are told not to approach a police officer, especially if they have a weapon in their hand. Number two, they are told to keep their hands visible. And number three, which is what I believe is the most important instruction or directive of all, and that is to follow the commands of the police officer. We're talking about choices, we're talking about decisions here. And it is obvious that Mr. Lyoya did not follow the commandments in which that the police officer had told him right off the beginning. He was told, don't get out the car, stay in the car. Stay in the car. But nevertheless, though, Mr. Patrick proceeded to get out of the car. He asked, well, what did I do? And no doubt the officer instructed him, told him, informed him that, listen, these plates don't match this car. He then asked Mr. Patrick Lyoya to go ahead and, if he had driver's license, and to provide him with driver's license. Now, I'm going to tell you when I looked at that interaction, the first time I said I didn't catch it, but when I kept looking at it, and it was hard to understand the dialogue that was going on between him and the passenger that was inside the vehicle. But in my opinion, and I'm not here to cast any any negative thought on it, but I don't believe that he had driver's license, to be honest, or he would have it automatically provided. Number two, you don't resist arrest. That's a decision that Mr. Patrick made. Now, everybody always want to go directly to the fact and the whole narrative that get everybody in an uproar is when a white police officer shoots and kills an unarmed black man. Everybody come out the woodworks then. But let me put a pin in that right there. My question is why we don't have that same reaction when it's black on black crime. Why we don't have that same drive. Listen, we cannot continue to allow this to happen. We need to put a stop to the end of this, but it doesn't happen. But now back to the incident between this young man who lost his life and the police officer. Now, even when I looked at the video, I chose not to play the entire video because I'm sure that everybody who's watching this video have already seen that video. But I wanted to highlight the decisions that was made, not only by Mr. Lyoya, but also the police officer. Of course, I'm not going to show that. Everybody know what happened. But even when I watched that video, I questioned some of the decisions that this officer had made. Now, what I want to do is play another clip from that very same video of the passenger and his decision that he had chose to make during this whole altercation. As you can see that his passenger, what did he do? He kept his hands in view where the officers can see him, as well as he followed the commands of the officer. And because of that, he was able to go home. I know that you all are going to have this to say and that to say, but let's deal with the facts, because this is where I'm coming from with that. We need to teach our young men how to interact with police officers. Okay, if you're going to ride clean, I always say. Don't ride dirty. Make sure your license plate is valid. Make sure that you have valid insurance and valid driver's license. Make sure that your vehicle does not have faulty equipment on it. These are choices now. These are choices that were long made before the officer fired his gun at Mr. Lyoya. It's a tongue-twisting name. And I don't mean no disrespect by it. Please, I don't. I'm saying it because I want to be respectful. Even though he's no longer on this side of earth, on this side of life, he still deserves respect. This is a life-changing situation for all the parties that are involved. But still, I'm compelling all of you. What kind of example do we want to set for our other young men that are out there, that they can be aggressive, not follow the instructions of police officers? And then if they get shot or something bad happens to them, then they want to blame the police officer. But no, we have to teach our young men, especially, and young women, the principles and the fact of accountability of our actions. We got to make right decisions. Mr. Patrick chose to make decisions such as to disobey commands that was given to him by the police officers, and his passenger chose to follow the commands of the police officer. He gets to go home where Mr. Patrick don't. It's unfortunate. I really regret the fact that it happened, and especially that we had now, my understanding, we have 2 small children that are going to grow up without their father. That is a very, very sad occasion. And just the thought of it just does something to me. But I'm saying what I'm saying on this video because we got to deal with the truth. We have to deal with the truth and not the narrative, this race bait narrative that's out there. Listen, all we're doing with that mindset, okay, hey, a white cop shoot a black unarmed black man, everybody come out the woodworks, demanding justice, demanding this, demanding that. But let's hold accountability where it is. What if Mr. Patrick had followed the commands of the police officer, this unknown officer, when he was told, don't get out the vehicle, when he was told, to stop, don't resist arrest? I believe that he would have been home with his family right now. He would have been home enjoying his children right now. But no, he chose the decision to not follow the commands. And I know it's unfortunate, but we got to deal with the truth here. And that is the truth. I wish he had to just deal with it. Listen, I've had my encounters as well with officers, but I respect their jobs because I want them to respect me. Do we have some nasty cops out there? Absolutely. Do we have some rude cops out there? Police officers out there? Yes, we do. I've seen them. I've seen them on video as well as I've had my own personal encounters with them. But no matter how they act or control themselves, one thing I tell my children, you can't beat the police officers out there in the street. You have to take them to court if you have to, or whatever it is, but you can't beat them in the street. That's their ground, that's their territory. So the best thing you can do is do what's necessary, play the necessary, take the necessary precautions where you can do what you need to do so that you can go home to your family. That's what you should be thinking about. And it all comes back to the fact of what's the decisions that we're making. We gotta make right decisions when we are having encounters with police officers. And I stated, yes, we have some officers out there, they are absolutely disrespectful and rude. And that's only because I would say they don't even have respect for themselves. But just because they're there, don't you go there with them, okay? And don't allow this 1% or 2% of bad police officers to taint the mindset or the professionalism of the other 98% that's out there. All police officers are not bad. All police officers are not going out their way just to kill unarmed or shoot and kill unarmed black men and women or black people, period. We need to stop that narrative because that is a lie and it is not the truth. Did this officer made some bad decisions? Yes, he did. Absolutely. And in my opinion, if I was to say, I didn't see where he was justified in pulling his firearm yet. I'm going to say yet. But I don't know the whole details. But based on what I've seen, that's my opinion. But nevertheless, I'm not here to cast anything one way or the other. No more to say. But listen, we got to take responsibilities for our decisions. And I'm saying this again because I don't want to see another. I do not want to hear of another black man losing his life under any circumstances. Because at the end of the day, we have, again, talking about decisions, we have to make the decision, stop killing one another. And that's all I have to say on that. If you agree with what I said here, give me a like. If you disagree, I would like to know why. Put it in the comment. And while you're there, if you don't mind, share this video. Also subscribe to it. We certainly appreciate your help. That's all we have to say. I'm Lionel Nelson, host of A Father's Note, where we promote fathers through building men.